Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Lion Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'll be fighting a 1,540-point battle. You'll see in a second. Between my Dark Angels and Reed's Necrons. Nihilic, the Nihilic dynasty. So the story that we've got going on here is that a distress call was received on Terra from this imperial planet, that there were metal xenos that had arisen, metal skeletons that had arisen from the ground and were rampaging through the across the planet, destroying the populace and killing and slaughtering all of the imperial citizens. So a force was dispatched. The Dark Angels were sent out to go try to help the citizens on the planet, but when they arrived, the entire populace had been slaughtered to a man, and the Necrons had control of the planet. So the Dark Angels decided to descend upon here to reap bloody vengeance, to get back in the name of the Emperor and take out all the Xenos and hopefully claim back this planet in the name of the Imperium once again. And the Necrons are just trying to kill the Dark Angels off of this planet that they claim as their own. So that's the story that we've got going on. We are going to be playing the No Mercy game, so it's just kill points. So just killing units and getting points for that. First Blood, Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, all the thing. But yeah, we're just trying to kill each other, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So the reason we're playing 1,540 points, not 1,500 points exactly, is that when we first got here to the store this morning at 11 a.m., we had 1,500 point armies. But the FAQ was coming out today, and it was coming out at 11:30. So we did the initial filming of our armies, figured that it was going to be fine. And then when the FAQ finally dropped and we decided to start playing, turns out that Dark Talons are now 40 points more. So as opposed to trying to find where I could get 40 points out randomly on this army, my opponent was like, listen, my Scarabs are basically a three-man squad is 40 points. Why don't I just add another squad of Scarabs and we'll call it good? And I was like, that sounds perfect to me. So we've got 1,540 points armies here today because the FAQ literally came out in the middle of us filming this. So you're going to see when we film the intro with the armies, he only has one Scarab squad of Scarabs. He actually has two Scarab squads because of that change that literally happened. The FAQ literally dropped in the middle of our game, but we wanted to get this done as good for you guys as possible. So we're actually going to be playing with the beta rules from the FAQ. So deep strikers have to arrive. If they arrive on turn one, if anyone is arriving on the battlefield on turn one, they have to arrive in your deployment zone. Otherwise, turn 2 and 3, they can arrive elsewhere. And that's the big new beta rule that's going on with that. Neither of our lists, since our lists were just single faction, didn't get affected by the changes that they made to the Imperium keyword or Chaos keyword or anything like that. So none of that should be an issue, and none of our armies have more than use data sheets more than 3 times, which is the exception is troops anyway. So even if I had more scouts or he had more warriors, it would have been fine. But our lists don't even have that anyway, so that should be, all of those rules are fine. But we are going to be playing with the new Deep Strike beta rules to go along with that. So, so before we go any further, though, let's show you the 2 armies, minus the Scarab squad, that are going to be fighting it out today. So for the Dark Angels, I'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have Azrael and a Talon Master. We have 3 5-man scout squads with bolters. We have a Chapter Ancient and an Apothecary. We have a 5-man squad of Reavers with bolt carbines and grav shoots. We have a 5-man Devastator squad with 4 heavy bolters. We have a 5-man Devastator squad with 4 las cannons. We have a 9-man Hellblaster squad. And last but not least, we have a Dark Talon. And for the Necrons, he'll be running a battalion detachment. Leading off that detachment, we have an Overlord with a Resurrection Orb and a Cryptek with the Chronometron. We have a 5-man Immortal squad. We have a 10-man and a 15-man Warrior squad. We have a 5-man Lichguard squad with Hyperphase Sword and Dispersion Shields. We have a 5-man Praetorian squad with Rods of the Covenant. We have a Triarch Starker. We have a Ghost Ark. We have a 3-base squad of Scarabs. And last but not least, we have the Canoptic Tomb Sentinel. All right, so those are the armies, plus the Scarab Squad, that we've got going on here today. Going over deployment now, I've got a Scout Squad back here, a Scout Squad over here, and a Scout Squad over here. I've got my Devastator Squad with the las cannons up in this building, Devastator Squad with the heavy bolters in this building. I've got my Hellblasters with the Chapter Ancient, the Apothecary, and Azrael in the front here. I've got my Talon Master, and I got my Dark Talon. In Deep Strike Reserve, I have my Reavers set up. Going to deployment for the Necrons here. He's got his Immortals on this side. He's got his 15-man squad of warriors in the middle there. We've got the Cryptek and the Overlord in the middle as well. We've got the Lich Guard behind them over there. We've got the Triox Stalker over here. We've got Scarab Squad. We've got Scarab Squad. We have the Praetorians up here. And we've got the Ghost Ark. I wanted to say Ghost Keel, but that's Tau. Ghost Ark over here. Inside the Ghost Ark is the 10-man squad of warriors. So those guys are inside the Ghost Ark. And then the Sentinel Tomb Sentinel. Tomb Sentinel Blade, not Tomb Sentinel, just Tomb Sentinel. Cryptek's Tomb Sentinel is going to be in reserves. So he's going to come crawling out of the ground to mess with all of my dude bros. Turn two now, because otherwise he would have to come back over here, and he doesn't want to have to march him across there. So same thing with my Reavers. So we'll see how that goes. It makes things different. You have to think about things a little bit differently. So that'll be interesting. So that is the deployment. As of right now, the Necrons are going first. Unless I can seize the initiative. Looking for a 6. Show me that Phil first. No, the complete opposite of a 6. So, yeah, Australian 6. It's a 6 down under. So, since we're not playing in Australia, we're going to have the Necrons go first. So we'll come back to you after their movement phase here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 1. All of these guys, so his Immortals, his Warriors, his Cryptek, and his Overlord, and the Lich Guard, and the Triox Stalker, and this squad of Scarabs, and the Ghost Ark all moved up the field here, just regular movement. And over there, his Praetorians and his Scarabs advanced up this way. So those two have advanced. Everyone else just did their regular move, and then he's holding his Tomb Sentinel in Deep Strike Reserve because he didn't feel like dropping him back here. So instantly, new rules FAQ making a difference in strategy. Also worth pointing out is they bumped the CPs for the detachment. So as opposed to getting +3 for our battalions each, we're getting +5 for battalions. And you would get +12 for having a what's it called? The brigade detachment. So it's a pretty big jump there. So my opponent is starting with 8 CP. I'm starting with 9 CP since Azrael is my warlord, giving me +1. So that's a pretty big bump from starting, what you usually start with. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that is it for movement here on turn 1. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, starting off the shooting phase, his Triox Stalker is going to fire into my Hellblasters over here. So what is he going to be shooting?
Normally be hitting on 3. Oh, so he's shooting his heat ray.
He's going to shoot his heat ray. So it's going to be heavy 2, so 2 shots. Hitting on 4s because he moved. All right, so no hits there.
Great start.
All right, so next up, the Immortals are going to fire into my Hellblasters here. The Triox Stalker has a special rule that all friendly Necron units from here on out, or for this turn, get to reroll failed hit rolls of 1 against units that the Triox Stalker attacked. It doesn't say hit, so even though he whiffed on those shots, the fact that he attacked them brings that special rule into effect here. So we're going to now have the Immortals shooting into my Hellblasters. They're going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of the Triox Stalker special rule. All right, well, no 1s there, but still 3 hits. Strength 5, so looking for strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. That's rough. All right, so now the Warriors are going to fire into my Hellblasters over here. He did My Will Be Done onto them, so they're going to be hitting on 2s, and then he gets to still re-roll the 1s to hit because of the Triox Stalker's rule there. So hitting on 2s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so that was there was one that got re-rolled into a hit there, so that everything hits now. Now these are going to be Strength 4, so wounding on 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. Well, there, now we'll come back to that. All right, so we got 9 wounds, AP -1, so we got 9 4-up saves. Failing 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, which means that 2 guys are dead. Let's see if they get to shoot again because of the chapter ancient there. So 2 looking for 4-ups. Nope, neither of them gets to shoot. All right, so now the Ghost Arc is going to fire into my Hellblasters over here. He's got 10 shots that are going to be firing here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Re-rolling that 1 there because of the Triax Stalker rule. All right, so that is pretty good. These are now strength 4 as well, right? Yep, so these strength 4, so wounding on 4s. All right, getting two wounds there. 2 AP -1, right? So 2 4-ups. Fail 1, make 1. All right, so that is it for the Necrons' turn here on turn 1. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 1. My scouts all stood still, as did my 2 Devastator squads. But my Hellblasters moved up, as did all of my special dude bros helping him out there. So the Banner Bearer, Azrael, and the Apothecary, and as did my Talon Master. My Dark Talon moved up over here, flying over these guys here, which we will be dropping the bomb on top of. And my Reaver stayed in reserves because I didn't want to drop them back in my zone. So, again, changing tactics because of that rule, so it's pretty good. So, at the end of the movement phase, my Apothecary healed back the one guy who took a wound over here, back up to full. And then my Dark Talon dropped a bomb onto his warrior squad over there. So we're gonna have a 10 rolling 10d6 on a 4-up. It does mortal wounds. So here we go, looking for 4-ups. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 mortal wounds. Starting at the shooting phase, my Dark Talon now is going to fire his 2 Hurricane Bolters into the Warrior Squad up here, and the Rift Vortex Cannon into his Triax Stalker. So we're going to go with the Hurricane Bolters here. These are going to be hitting on 2s because he has Strafing Run. So these are going to be hitting on 2s, 24 shots. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, all but 2 hits, which is pretty good. So we got 22 hits. These are going to be hitting on, these are going to be wounding on 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. 4-ups. All right, so we got 14 wounds there. We got 14 4-ups from them. Failing, a bunch of them. So, yeah, you roll that one over there, the 4. That one's fine, yeah.
This one, cool.
All right, nope, not on that one. So we'll come back to you with that. All right, so it killed 9 of them. That was pretty brutal. So now the heavy Rift Cannon, the Rift Cannon is going to fire into Triax Stalker here. So he's -1 to hit because of moving, because of being heavy, but he's going to be +1 to hit because of Strafing Run, since the Triax Stalker does not have the fly special rule. So these are going to, this is going to be D3 shots, getting 3 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s because of the way all of the stuff works out. Getting 2 hits, strength 10, wounding on 3s. Getting 1 wound, AP -3. 6-up save. No, goes through, so that's 3 damage. But because it does 3 damage, he has quantum shielding. So if he rolls a 1 or a 2 here, nothing happens to him. Oh, with the 2, so no damage from that. And because he didn't actually inflict any damage onto him, I don't get to roll on the Rift Vortex table. So that is, that was pretty good. Now my Ancient's gonna fire into the Warrior Squad over there, hitting on a 3. That's a hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. AP nothing, so 4-up. Yeah, he's good. And now my Talon Master is going to fire everything into those warriors there, because I need them dead. I can't have them coming back. I have nightmares about about resurrecting Necrons here. So we're going to go with the Twin Assault Cannon first. These are going to be 12 shots, hitting on 4s because he moved. All right, re-rolling 1s and 2s because of Azrael. But that 3 there does not get to re-roll because it was a hit before becoming not a hit. So, again, looking for 4s. All right, getting a bunch there. These are now strength 6, looking for 3s to wound. All right, re-rolling 1s to wound, but nope, none of those. So we've got 6, 7 wounds here. These are at AP -1, so 7 5-ups. Failing all of them, so, or not all of them. Made 1, made 1, but still, they are dead. And that is First Blood. All right, so now my last cannon bros here are going to fire into his Ghost Arc. The red one is going to have the Signum, so he's going to be hitting on a 2. The others are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, re-rolling 1s because of Grim Resolve since they didn't move. All right, so that's all hits. These are going to be wounding on 3s. Whew. Yeah. All right, 1 wound. AP -3. No, I'm gonna hold on to my command points just for yet. But so that's 1 wound that gets through. AP -3. So do you have a 6-up save on them?
Yeah.
Yep. So 6-up save. That's cocked. No, goes through. So D6 wounds. Getting 4 wounds. Quantum shielding. Oh, at the 3, nothing happens. All right, so now my Hellblasters are going to go. They are going to supercharge, and I'm also going to spend a command point on Weapons of the Dark Age. I'm going to see if I get that command point back because of Azrael's Brilliant Strategist. I do not, so I'm down to 8 command points. That's pretty crazy for me to have to say. Down to 8. So now my Hellblaster is supercharging Weapons of the Dark Age into the into my opponent's Ghost Arc over there. So the first guys are going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael. All right, so that is 2 hits. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael, 2 hits. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael. It's 2 hits. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael. 2 hits. Oh man, Azrael. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael. Oh, dead guy and no hits there. So we got 1 dead guy. Hitting on 3s. All right, those are 2 hits. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Azrael. All right, that's 2 hits there. So this guy, let's see if he gets to shoot again before he dies. He does. So hitting on 2s now because of it being the chapter ancient as opposed to the company ancient. All right, so those are 2 more hits there. So these are now going to be strength 8, so wounding on 3s. AP -4, so he's not going to get any saves because he's actually got a 4-up save, so he shouldn't have even had it against the last cannons. But we will see about quantum shielding here. So these are going to be wounding on 3s. Alrighty. Rerolling 1s because of the Talon Master there. All right, so that's a lot. That's a lot of wounds. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. So these all do 3 damage each. So he's going to roll 12 dice. Any 1s and 2s, ignore all the damage from those. So getting 2 1s and 2s. So that is 30 damage. That might kill it. Does he explode?
Does he?
No, he doesn't explode. As much as that skull would think death, no, it doesn't explode. So, yeah, he is dead. All right, so now my Devastator Squad hero with the heavy bolters is going to fire into his Immortals. I'm going to spend a command point on Hellfire Shells, which allows 1 guy with a heavy bolter, instead of firing 3 shots, fires 1 shot. If it hits, it does D3 mortal wounds, though, instead. So let me see if I get the command point back. I do not, so I am down to 7 command points. Now they're going to fire. So I've got 3 regular Hellblasters hitting on 3s, and I gave the Signum to the one with the Hellfire round, so he's going to be hitting on 2s. All right, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve. Wow, really good. They are toughness... Toughness 4. So wounding on 3. This will be doing D3 mortal wounds, and this is going to be wounding on 3s. All right, so 1 mortal wound. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AP -1, so 5 ups. Yep. All right, and then that one's cocked. You can reroll that one. All right, so 2 saves, so 3, 4 dead guys. And now Azrael is going to shoot into the last remaining Immortal over here, hitting with the plasma gun. He's only going to shoot the plasma gun, not going to supercharge. So hitting on a 2. That's a hit. Wounding on a 3. No. Rerolling 1s because of the Talon Master. No wound there. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn. I say it. That was a pretty good turn. I'll take that turn. But nobody has to take any morale tests because they have leadership 10. Losing 4 guys is not going to make you fail a leadership. So we will come back to you after movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 2. All right, actually, we got reanimation protocol coming over here. So he's got four guys died there. So 4 5-ups.
Not a 1.
5-ups. Yeah, no guys coming back this turn. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 2. His Triarch Stalker stood still. The Scarabs moved up over this way. His Immortal stood still. His Lord here, Overlord here, had the Veil of Darkness, so he used it and grabbed him and the Lich Guard and jumped them up here so that they are 9 inches away from my Hellblasters over here. His Tomb Sentinel jumped up in the middle of the board over here, 9 inches away from these dude bros. And his Warriors stood still where they are. They are within rapid fire range of them. His Scarabs moved up, and as did his Praetorians over there. So, because the reason these guys all stood still is because the benefit for his dynasty is that if they stand still, they get to reroll 1s to hit, right? So it's less like Grim Resolve here, which is pretty cool. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so now his Triarch Stalker is going to start us off in the shooting phase. He's going to fire his focus beam into my Dark Talon over here. So he's going to be hitting on 4s because it's -1 to hit. That is a 6, so that is going to be 2 hits. Strength 8, so looking for 3s to wound. No, not getting anything. Do you want to spend a command point? He's going to spend a command point to reroll one of those into a wound. AP -4, so that's just going to go straight through. D6 damage. And he's in half range, so he gets to roll. It's basically the Melter rule there. So 5 damage, pretty brutal. All right, so now the Tomb Sentinel here is going to fire his weapon into the Hellblasters over here. So his heavy D6 shots, getting 6 shots, real good. Hitting on 4s because he moved. These are going to be hitting on 4s. All right, just getting 1 hit there. This is going to be strength 10, so wounding on a 2. That is a wound. AP -4, so 4 up invul save because of Azrael. No, goes through, so that is a dead dude bro. Does he get to shoot back? He does, in fact, so he is going to fire back into the dude bro that killed him. So, supercharging, hitting on 2s because of it being the Chapter Ancient. So that's 2 hits. Strength 8, toughness 7, so looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, AP -4.
Okay.
Do those just go through? So that's just going to be 4 damage into him because of those 2 shots. And now the Warriors are going to fire into my Hellblasters over here. They're in rapid fire range, so we've got 20 shots coming in here, hitting on 3s. All right, we'll come back to that. All right, rerolling 1s because of the not going to reroll. That was cocked there. Yep. All right, so we'll come back to you with that. All right, that was all but 3 hit, all but 3 hits, so that's going to be 17 hits. Wounding on 4s. All right, we'll come back to you with that. All right, so we got 9 wounds, AP -1, so 9 4-ups. Failing 4 of them, which means 2 of my guys are dead. Let's see if they get to shoot back. They do not. And now his Immortal is going to fire into my Dark Talon over here. So he's going to have 2 shots, hitting on 4s because he's hard to hit there. Rerolling 1s because of their Dynasty Tate. Nope, so that's 2 misses. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase, his Lich Guard are going to charge into my Hellblasters. I'm not going to supercharge, so we got 4 guys left. They are going to be hitting on 6s. All right, rerolling because of Azrael. Getting 3 hits. These are strength 7, so looking for 3s to wound. Getting 3 wounds, AP -4, so 3 4-up invul saves because of the dispersion shields. That one's cocked. All right, so making 2 of them, so 1 guy takes 1 damage. And then you need a 9-inch charge to get into them over there, right?
Using my will be done though.
Oh, using my will be done.
+1 to
gets
charge.
+1 to the charge. Oh, that's cool. So he gets +1 to the charge here. So here we go, looking for 8 inches.
I'm gonna use
he's going to use command point on that one there. And they are totally in. And now the Overlord is going to charge into there as well. Not getting in. And now the Tomb Sentinel is going to charge into my Hellblasters over here, looking for a 9-inch charge. Getting it really in there. All right, so Azrael heroically intervened into the Tomb Sentinel over there. But starting it off here, his what are they called? Lich Guard, thank you, are going to attack into my Hellblasters first. So they have my will be done is still on them, so that gives them +1 to hit. So these are going to be hitting on 2s. All right. These are now going to be wounding on 3s because it's strength 6, toughness 4. Okay, so getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. 5 4-up invul saves because of Azrael. Whoa, get back here. Making them all. Woo! All right, I'm going to spend 2 command points to interrupt over there. Do I get one of those command points back? I do not, so I'm down to 5 command points. Azrael is going to interrupt an attack into the Tomb Sentinels over there. So he's got 5 attacks. These are going to be hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of himself. All right, so that is 5 hits. These are going to be strength plus 2, so strength 6. He's toughness 7, so looking for 5s to wound. Rerolling 1s to wound, but not getting any of those, so he gets 1 wound. And it's going to be a 6, which means that it does a mortal wound. And then it's AP minus 3, so a 6-up save. Nope, goes through, so D3 mortal wounds in addition. 3 mortal wounds, so a total of 4 wounds onto him. Killer. All right, so now the Tomb Sentinel's going to attack into my Hellblasters over here. He is going to be hitting on 3s. All right, so that's 3 hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s. Getting 3 wounds. AP minus 2. So we're going to have 4-up invul saves because of Azrael. Oh, wow! Azrael is making up his points there. Woo! All right, so now my Hellblasters get to go. 2 are going to go into the Tomb Sentinel over here, so they're going to attack. They got 2 attacks each because they're Primaris dude bros. Hitting on 3s. Re-rolling because of Azrael. So that's 4 hits. Toughness 6, right? Toughness 5. So looking for 5s to wound. Rerolling 1s to wound because of the Talon Master. So that is 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2 3-ups. Oh, and he failed 1, so he is dead. And then the 2 guys over here, including one of the sergeants, is going to attack, hitting on 3s. All right, rerolling because of Azrael. So that's 5 hits. Toughness 5. That was actually toughness 6 was over there, but they was still wounding on 5s into him. But these are now toughness 5, so still wounding on 5s. Failing all and reroll 1 because of that. Nope. All right, so that is it for the Necrons' turn here on turn 2. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 2. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 2. My Devastator squad with the heavy bolters stood still, as did my Devastator squad with the las cannons. These scouts moved up over this way. These scouts moved up over here. These scouts over here advanced up there, rolled a 1, of course, tripping over their own shoes. Over here, my Hellblasters fell back out of combat, but I spent 2 command points for Intractable, which allows them to shoot this turn. Let me see if I get back one of those command points. I do not, so I'm down to 3 command points. All of the characters there moved up with them. Azrael moved up over this way, as did my Talon Master, and my Dark Talon dropped into hover mode over here, looking onto these guys. And that is it for the movement phase. So we'll come back to you with the shooting phase here on turn 2. All right, so starting off the shooting phase, my Hellblasters here are going to be firing into his Lich Guard. I am going to spend a command point for Weapons of the Dark Age, see if I get it back. I do not, so I'm down to 2 command points. But they're going to be shooting in there. I'm not going to supercharge so I can keep them alive, but they are going to be shooting into them, so it's going to be doing damage 2 anyway. And they were toughness 5, so it didn't make any difference if it was strength 8. But my opponent has spent 2 command points on Dispersion Shield Amplification, which means that their invul save is raised up to a 3-up, and any saves of a 6 that they make with that do a mortal wound into the unit that shot them, which is awesome. That's super cool. So they're going to be firing into the Lich Guard over here. We've got 8 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Rerolling because of Azrael. All right, that's all hits. Really good. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of the Talon Master. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. These are now, like I said, AP minus 4, so 3-up invul saves. Making them all. Well done. No mortal wounds back, but still, that's pretty good. All right, so moving on, my las cannon bros here are going to fire into his Triox Stalker. And now my opponent spent another command point for quantum deflection, which means that on his quantum shielding saves to see if he doesn't take any damage, they're now for the rest of the phase, right? Or is it just for this one round of shooting? What's it say?
For the vehicle. So
for the for the turn, or is it for the phase, or?
Yeah, it seems like it's for the phase.
It's just for the entire phase. So now his quantum shielding, because you do it when a vehicle of yours with quantum shielding is selected as a target, but before hit rolls are made. He now spent the command point, which means that his quantum shielding now rolls are at -1, so that you know, if you're because he's trying to get lower than the damage that I do to him. So at -1 now, he gets to ignore even on a 1 damage there. And if I roll a 6 to wound 6 damage on any of these, he can't fail it. So I would just instantly, it would be nothing there. So the red is going to be the Signum hitting in here. That's going to be hitting on 2. The others are going to be hitting on 3s. Alrighty, so that's 2 misses there. These are now going to be wounding on 3s, getting 2 wounds, AP -3. So what does he have as his save? We'll come back. So we got 2 6-up saves here, making one of them, so 1 goes through. D6 damage, doing 5 damage, -1, so he had a 0. So 0 damage onto him. Man, that thing is not going anywhere. So now, moving down the shooting phase, my Dark Talon's going to fire 1 Hurricane Bolter into his Scarabs, 1 Hurricane Bolter into his Immortal over here, and then he's going to fire the Rift Cannon into the Triox Stalker. So we're going to go with the Hurricane Bolters into the Scarabs first. So 12 shots, hitting on 3s because he's at second profile, which means hitting on 4s, +1 because of whatchamacallit, because of Strafing Run. Thank you, sir. So hitting on 3s. Alrighty. That was not a hit. Alright, these are now going to be toughness on the Scarabs.
Toughness 3.
3, so looking for 3s to wound. Oh, that is a lot of 1s and 2s. So we got 2 wounds into them.
Alright.
AP nothing, so 2
6-up saves.
2 6-up saves. Oh! That's how you do it, Scarabs. And now the other Hurricane Bolter into his Immortal, hitting on 3s. All right, wounding on 4s. Ooh, getting a bunch of wounds there. So that's going to be 5 wounds there.
5 3-ups.
5 3-ups. Failing one of them. He's going to use a command point to re-roll that. Yeah, there you go. He is still alive. All right, now the heavy Rift Cannon is going to be fired into his Triox Stalker here. So heavy D3. So 2 shots. Hitting on 4s because he did move. -1, +1 because of Strafing Run. So it goes down to a 4 because he's in the second profile. Hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Strength 10, wounding on a 3. Now my heavy Bolter Bro is going to fire into his Lich Guard over here. I'm going to spend a command point for Hellfire round, so let's see if I get it back. I do not, so I'm down to 1 command point left. So I'm going to give the Signum to the one with the Hellfire round, which is going to be the red die there. Hitting on 3s and 2. All right, rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve, they didn't move. That's all hits, really good. So we got D3 mortal wounds on the red. The others are going to be wounding on 4s, right? Because they're toughness 5, right? Toughness 5, so looking for 4s to wound. So we've got 2 mortal wounds, and then we're looking for 5s, right? Yeah, looking for 4s to wound because toughness 5. So we got 6 wounds there at AP -1. So you're gonna have 6 3-up saves with the shields, which still have the dispersion shield amplification. So 6. Ooh, getting 2 6s. But it's 3-up saves, so he fails 2, and he took 2 mortal wounds. So
and then 1 was already at 1.
1 was already at 1, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 1 gets another wound, right? Because it was just 4 wounds there. Yep. All right, and I lose 2 guys because of those mortal wounds coming back on those 6s. Yeah, he lost just as many as I did. All right, so now my Talon Master is going to fire everything into the Lich Guard over here. So we're going to start with the twin assault cannons first, hitting on 4s because he moved. All right, rerolling 1s and 2s because of Azrael being there. 3s were hits, so they don't get to reroll. All right, no, meant to be. Strength 6, looking for 3s to wound. Rerolling 1s because of himself. All right, so that is going to be 4 wounds at AP -1. So 4 3-up saves because of the shields there. Failing one of them, no 6s, so no mortal wounds. All right. Now the twin heavy bolters on 4s, rerolling 1s and 2s because of Azrael. All right, so we got 3 hits. Strength 5, wounding on 4s. Rerolling 1s because of himself, so that is 3 wounds at AP -1. These are going to be 3-ups. Failing 2 of them, so 1 guy dead, but no mortal wounds into him. Now Azrael's going to fire into the Lich Guard over there. He is going to supercharge, so we got 2 shots hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of himself. Don't you do this. Don't you do this to me. Oh, okay. All right, so that's 2 hits. Strength 8, toughness 5, looking for 3s to wound. Okay, getting 1 wound. AP -3, 3 up because shield save. Ooh. No, goes through, and that's 2 damage, so he is dead.
I have to command.
All right, he's going to spend the command. 1 second. Yeah, he'd already spent the command point this phase, so he does not get to save him, so he is dead. All right, so that's it for shooting phase. Into the assault phase, my Talon Master is going to charge into his Cryptek and his Overlord over here. So his Cryptek is going to fire with 3 shots on 6s. Not getting anything there, so his charge distance is totally in. And now Azrael's going to charge in. Yep, he's in. All right, so now my going into the fight phase here, I'm going to activate Azrael first. My opponent has given his Overlord the Nihilic specific Warlord trait, which means that he basically counts as charging during this turn. So it says he gets to fight first in the fight phase, even if he hasn't charged. But if you had your opponent had units that charged, or has units that have that special rule, and it is your opponent's turn, you alternate back and forth, so it starts with me since it's my active turn. So Azrael's going to activate, but then if he's still alive, he'll get to go before my Talon Master gets to go, which is pretty brutal. So Azrael's going to attack into the Overlord there. I've got 5 attacks hitting on 2s. Okay, rerolling because of himself, so that is 5 hits. These are now strength +2, so strength 6, wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of the Talon Master. All right, so we got 4 wounds there. No 6s, so no mortal wounds. So that's 4 wounds. AP -3.
4 up invul.
So he's got 4 up invul saves. Failing 2 of them. Did you want to spend you can redo command points now if you want to spend them.
Yeah, I guess I'll spend.
He's going to spend a command point to reroll.
No.
Nope, not into that. So that's 2 go through, 2d3 damage. Doing 3-4 damage into him. Pretty brutal. All right, so now his Overlord, who's still alive with 1 wound, gets to attack back. He's going to attack into my Talon Master over here. So he's going to have, what is it, 4 attacks?
3 attacks.
3 attacks.
Hitting on 2s.
Hitting on 2s. All right, so it's...
Command point?
He's going to spend his last command point here to reroll that. Oh, no, so that does not go through. So that's 2, strength 7, so looking for 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds, AP -4, 2 damage each. He takes 4 damage. All right, so now the Talon Master is going to go. He's going to put 2 attacks into the Overlord, 3 attacks into the Cryptek. We'll do into the Overlord first. 2 attacks hitting on 2s. That's 2 hits. Strength +2, so wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds, AP -3, 2 4-ups. Oh, and he fails 1. It's D3 damage, but he's only got 1 wound left. So that is Slay the Warlord. And then the 3 attacks into the Cryptek back here, hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of Azrael. So that's 3 hits. Strength +2, so looking for 3s to wound. That is 2 wounds. AP -3 onto the Cryptek over there.
Doesn't get a save.
Does not get a save, so that's 2d3 damage. Doing 3 damage into him. Another Cryptek who's down to 1 wound gets to attack back into my Talon Master over here, hitting on a 3. Hitting on a 3 or 2?
3.
It is on 3, so he does miss. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn 2. We'll come back to you after movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 3. All right, so actually at the beginning of the phase, he's got reanimation protocols on those, on the Immortals there, looking for 5s. Does he get +1 because of the Cryptek there? +1 because of the Cryptek there, so he gets 1 guy back. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 3. His Praetorians. Praetorians, right?
Yep,
I got that right? Yeah, I got it right. That's what I get for questioning myself. Of course I was right. Praetorians over here moved up Looking on my poor scouts there, or maybe my last cannon bros, who knows? Or both, why not both? His warriors here moved up into the terrain over here. His scarabs moved up over this way. These scarabs moved up here. The Cryptek fell back out of combat, and the warriors, the immortals over here stood still, as did the Triarch Stalker. So that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, Triarch Stalker is going to shoot into my Dark Talon over here, hitting on 3s because I am no longer flying. That's 2 hits. These are now going to be strength 8, so looking for 3s to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound there.
AP
So that's
-4.
AP -4, so it goes straight through. Damage. That one's cocked. Oh, 2 damage. All right, the Immortals here are going to fire into my Talon Master. 4 shots, hitting on 3s, right?
2 hits.
2 hits. Strength 5, so looking for 4s to wound. No wounds. The Warriors here are going to rapid fire into my Dark Talon, hitting on 3s. Getting to reroll 1s because of the Triarch Stalker's ability. So that was... Okay, there we go. That counts as a hit, because it's not -1 to hit anymore again because he is in hover mode. So these are now strength 4, so looking for 5s to wound. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wounds. 7 AP -1, so 7 4-up saves. Failed 3 of them, which is exactly what he needed to die. So he is dead. Does he explode? He does not. The Praetorians here are now going to fire into my Devastator squad up here. So they're going to have, what is it, 5 shots here, hitting on 3s. So that is going to be 1 hit.
And it is strength 5.
Strength 5, so looking for a 3. That is a wound.
-3.
AP -3 +1 because they are in cover. So it's going to be looking for a 4-up. Nope, failed that. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the assault phase. His scarabs are going to charge into my Talon Master. They are going to, so shooting Overwatch here. These are the twin assault cannon, hitting on 6s. All right, getting 3 hits. Rerolling because of Azrael being there. Not getting any additional ones.
T3.
T3, so looking for 2s to wound. Rerolling 1s because of himself, so that is 3 wounds at AP -1. So those just go straight through, right?
Straight through.
So that's going to be 1 base down to 1 wound. And now the twin heavy bolter firing on 6s, getting 1 hit. Rerolling because of Azrael, getting no more hits there. Wounding on a 3. That is a wound, AP -1, so that just goes straight through, so that does finish off that first base. And their charge distance, totally in. All right, so now his Praetorians are going to multi-charge. They're going to charge into my Devastator squad and into my scouts over here. So the Devastator squad firing here, hitting on 6s, getting 1 hit, wounding on a 3, no wound there. And then my scout squad over here is going to be firing into them, rapid firing bolters on 6s. They did move during the movement phase, so no hits there. Their charge distance is, wow, totally into at least 1. We'll see if he gets in the other one. And now his Scarab bases are going to charge into my Hellblasters. Getting to reroll because of Azrael being there. He's within 6 inches. So I was just checking to see. So it's 2 hits. Wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds. AP -4, so that is just 1 takes 2 damage. And their charge distance is in. All right, so starting with the fight phase, his Praetorians are going to go first. Oh no, he fell over a broken arm. So he has 3 guys that are actually up here. This guy over here is actually up there, imagine it. So 3 are going to attack into his, yeah, we'll just put him over there, wobbly model, he's over there, but whatever. They're going to go into the into my last cannon bros here, 3 of them, and then 2 of them are going to go into my scouts. So the 3 into the last cannon bros, hitting on 2 attacks each, hitting on 3s or 2s.
3s.
Hitting on 3s, so that's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s, AP
-3.
-3, so we got 3 6-ups. Failed them all, so that's 3 dead guys. And then 4 attacks into the scouts over here. Hitting on 3s, that's 2 hits. No wounds. Scouts holding strong. All right, so the bases actually have 3 wounds each. We just realized, so we changed it up. So there's one over there with 1 wound left, and then one of these actually got wounded instead of just the 4 that went into the other guy there. So he's going to now attack with this Scarab Swarm into my Talon Master. So these are going to be hitting on 4s.
Ooh, 1 hit.
1 hit. That was brutal.
Result.
That was really bad.
All right, 5 up.
5 up to wound. No wound there. And now these Scarabs are going to attack into my Hellblasters. All right, hit on 4s. And now these are going to be wounding on strength. What is it? 3?
So they're strength 3, but they can only ever wound on 5s or 6s.
All right, so 5s to wound, getting 3 wounds. AP.
No AP model.
No AP, so 3 ups. Failed 2 of them, so 1 guy is dead. Does he get to punch back? He does, so his attack back on a 2 up because he's 2 up weapon skill. That's a hit. Toughness 3, right? So 1 wound there.
6 up.
6 up save. No, so it kills off that one with that dead guy. All right, so now my guys get to attack back. So my Talon Master is going to attack into them. 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of Azrael. Okay, not meant to be. These are now going to be strength plus 2, so wounding on 2s. That's 4 wounds at AP minus 3, so those are going to go through D3 wounds each. So the first one is 1 wound, so then 1 more is going to kill that guy. And then these other ones doing 4 wounds, so he is dead. And now the Hellblasters are going to attack, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. 3 wounds, 3 6-ups. I'm making 2 of them, so only 1 takes 1 wound. All right, so now my Devastator and my Scouts are going to attack at the same time since they've all got the same profile. So we're going to have 7 attacks between them because the Sergeant has 2 attacks. The rest of the guys have 1 attack. He has 1 attack. So these are going to be hitting on 3s. All righty. Toughness 5, so wounding on 5s. Getting no wounds. All right, so into the morale phase, my guys up here lost 4 guys, so 4 plus 6. Rerolling because of, and they shall know no rules. Into a 5. Yeah, he's running away. So he is gonzo. And I think that is it. That is it for the morale test. That is it for the Necron's turn here on turn 3. So a bit of a better turn this turn. Could have been a lot better, hopefully, going forward. But we will see what happens. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 3. Azrael moved up around the corner here, looking on these dude bros over here. My Talon Master stood still where he was so that he doesn't take a minus to shooting. My Hellblasters fell back out of combat over here. The Ancient and the Apothecary going along with them. The Hellblasters are over here, stood still. These Scouts advanced up here. These Scouts advanced up here. These Scouts stayed in combat with the Praetorians. And then the Reavers finally dropped in over here on turn 3, waiting to do some shooting. So that is it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, shooting phase. My Reavers are going to fire into his warriors over here, hitting on 3s with their bolt carbines. All right, pretty decent. Wounding on 4s. All righty, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. 5 3-up saves because they are in cover, and make all but 1. Talon Master is going to shoot into the warriors over here. Twin Assault Cannon first, hitting on 3s because he didn't move. Rerolling because of Azrael. Oh, thankfully. All right, yep, much better that time. Wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of himself. All righty. So that is 2, 4, 6, 7 wounds. AP minus 1 plus 1 because they're in cover, so 7 4-ups. Failing 2 of them. All right, so the heavy bolter squad over here is going to fire into them. I've got 3 guys left. These are going to be hitting on 3s because they didn't move. Rerolling 1s because of Grim Resolve because they didn't move. All right, really good there. Yeah. My Devastators, these guys have been doing work today. I've been excited about them. Strength 5, wounding on 3s. Okay. No, that was great that time. So 4 wounds at AP -1, +1 because they're in cover. 4 ups. That one's cocked. Making all but 1. Ancient's actually going to fire into the warriors. No, he's going to fire into the Scarab Swarm over here. So 2 shots hitting on 3s. Okie dokie. Azrael's going to fire into the Immortals over here. 2 shots with the plasma. He is going to not going to supercharge. So these are going to be 2 shots hitting on 2s. All right, 2 hits. Strength 7, wounding on 3s. That is 1 wound. AP -3, so 6 up save. No, goes through. That is a dead Immortal. All right, my scouts are going to shoot their pistols. 5 shots hitting on 3s. Okay, all but 1 hit. Wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds. AP nothing, so 2 3-ups. Failing 1. All right, so into the assault phase. My Talon Master is going to start us off here by charging into the Triarch Stalker, into the Cryptek, and into the Immortal. We're going to start with the what's his face? The Triarch Stalker, who's going to have disperse. This is basically a flamer, so it's going to be strength 5, AP -1, so heavy flamer. So it's going to be 2d6 though.
Heavy 2d6.
Heavy 2d6. So getting 8 hits. These are auto hits, so it's going to be 8. Strength 5, looking for 4s to wound. Oh boy, that's really good. So that is going to be 4 wounds. AP -1, so we got 4 4-up saves. And oh! And he is dead. Does he explode? No, he does not, but my Talon Master is dead. Now Azrael is learning from his friend's mistake there and just charging into the Cryptek and the Immortal over here. So, Overwatch from the Cryptek on 6s. Getting 2 hits.
Strength 5.
Strength 5, so looking for 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds.
AP -2.
AP -2, so 4-up saves. Failing 1 of them, so he takes a wound. And then the Immortal.
Nope.
No hits there. And his charge move is totally in. And now my Reavers are going to charge into his Warriors over here. Overwatching here, getting 2 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. But 1 to save with a 4 there. Charge distance, they need a 9-inch charge to get in. And they get in with double fill faces. Woo! All right, so we're going to start off here with Azrael. He's going to put 2 attacks into the Immortal, 3 attacks into the Cryptek. The red are going to be the ones into the Immortal. These are going to be hitting on 2s. Rerolling because of himself. All right. These are strength +2, so these are all going to be wounding on 3s. Okay, all wounds. Going to put 1 mortal wound onto the Cryptek over there. So he's down to 1 wound. And then he's got AP. Does he have any invul save?
No, he has no invul.
No invul save, so AP -3. Does he have a 3-up armor? No, 4-up armor. All right, so the Cryptek is just dead.
And then
then the Immortal has. Doesn't he have a 3-up armor save?
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's got 3-up armor save, so he's going to have 2 6-up saves. No, those are gone, so he is also dead. And now the Reavers are going to attack in 11 attacks because there's 3 from the Sergeant, 2 from everybody else, hitting on 3s. All right, really good. That was really good. That's not even pretty good. That's really good. Wounding on 4s. All right, that didn't even balance it out much even. All right, so that's super good. So that's 7 wounds, 7 4-up saves. Failing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 guy left. And now my scouts are going to activate 6 attacks hitting on 3s. Okie dokie. Wounding on 5s. Getting 1 wound. Oh, not a save. So 1 guy is dead. All right, so now his Praetorian are going to activate. They're going to get. Yeah, they were dropping down over here. We got them in there. So they're going to activate. These are now going to be hitting on 3s. So that's getting
only
2 hits. Okay, wounding on 3s. Right. So that is 1 AP -3. Right. So that's going to go straight through and kill a scout. And the 1 lone warrior left over here is going to attack. That is a hit. That is a wound. That is a save. And then Azrael consolidated into his Triarch Stalker, so his Triarch Stalker is going to attack back, hitting on 3s. Getting 1 hit. Strength 7, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound.
AP -1.
AP -1, so looking for a 3-up. Yeah, he's good. All right, so that is it. One morale test over here. He lost 9 guys in his squad. Leadership 10. If he rolls a 1, he's good. Rolls anything else, he's gone. Oh, he is
definitely gone.
Yeah, definitely gone. So, yeah, he ran away. So that is it for the Dark Angel's turn here on turn 3. We will come back to you after movement phase for the Necrons on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 4. His Trox Stalker backed out of combat with Azrael over here. His Scarabs are chasing up on my Hellblasters over there. And then over here, his Praetorians are staying in combat with my Scouts. So that is it for the...
they do have one reanimation protocol.
Okay. Oh, they have to take a reanimation protocol. We forgot about these guys. So... No, it doesn't come back. So they've still got the 4 guys left there. So that is it for the movement phase for the Necrons. There is no shooting to be had. So we're just going to go straight into the assault phase. All right, so his Scarabs are going to charge into my Hellblasters here. I'm going to fire Overwatch, hitting on 6s. Not getting anything, so their charge distance is totally in. All right, the Scarabs are now going to start us off in the fight phase into the Hellblasters. Hitting on 3s?
4s.
Hitting on 4s. So we've got
3 hits.
3 hits.
Wounding on 5.
Wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds, 2 3-ups, and I failed 1. And now his Praetorians are going to attack 8 attacks. Hitting on 3s. That's much better.
All good.
There we go. Wounding on 3s.
That is good.
That is good, but that is still 1, 2, 3, 4. That is enough to kill off that squad. And now my Hellblasters are going to activate. Hitting on 3s. Okay. Apparently they are not as enthused to punch. Wounding on 3s. Getting 2 wounds. 2 6-ups. No. So that is going to be 1 base dead. All right, so now my Apothecary, who heroically intervened, is going to attack in there. He's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s. Okay, 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. That is 2 wounds. 2 6-ups. No, 2 wounds. And now my Chapter Ancient is going to attack. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 3 wounds, 3 6-ups, or he's dead.
Here he goes.
Oh, he makes 1, but 2, he is dead. And that is it for the Necron turn here on turn 4. We'll come back to you after a movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 4. Movement phase for the Dark Angels here on turn 4. My Heavy Bolter Squad stood still. Scouts stood still. Scouts stood still. My Hellblasters moved up along with the Ancient and the Apothecary. My Reavers moved up over this way towards his Trox Stalker. Azrael moved up a little bit towards him, and that is it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so start of the shooting phase, my Hellblasters are going to fire into his Trox Stalker. I am going to supercharge. I am also going to spend my last command point on Weapons of the Dark Age. Do I get it back? I do not, so I'm out of command points now. So they are going to fire here, 1 at a time, hitting on 3s. Not getting to reroll because they're not within 6, so that's a dead guy, but also a hit. That's 2 hits. And that's another 2 hits. So this guy, does he get to shoot again? He does. So these are going to be hitting on 2s. That is going to be 2 more hits. So out of the 6 possible shots, I got 7 hits. Dead guy, but still. These are now going to be wounding on 3s. Okay, so that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds. They're doing 3 damage, so you get to roll at AP -4, so it goes through. So it's going to be 5 quantum shielding saves. So if he gets any below 3, they're ignored. So ignoring 2 of them, so 3 go 3, so that is 9 damage. And now Azrael is going to fire into him. He's going to not supercharge, so it's 2 shots hitting on 2s with his plasma. That's 2 hits. Strength 7, toughness 6, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. So that is AP -3. So does he get a 6-up save?
Nope.
So, and it's only 1 damage, so he is dead. Does he have an explodes rule?
No, he does.
No, he does not.
He
Oh, he does explode. So let's see if he explodes. Nope. No, he does not. So he is dead. All right, so that is it for the Dark Angels turn here on turn 4. So we will come back to you after with the reanimation protocol for the Necrons here on turn 5. All right, turn 5. Let's see if we can get someone back here. He does. So they are back at full strength. All right, movement phase for the Necrons here on turn 5. His Praetorians jumped over here and are within, or just outside of an inch of these guys here. So that is it for the movement phase. Moving on to the shooting phase. Shooting phase, his Praetorian Guard here are going to fire into this scout squad over here. So we got 5 shots, hitting on 3s.
Just 2 hits.
2 hits, wounding on
3s.
3s. That is 2 wounds.
AP minus 3.
AP minus 3. So that's 2 just dead scouts over here. All right, so now his Praetorians are going to charge into my scouts over here. So I'm going to fire Overwatch. I got 10 shots from the bolters, hitting on 6s. They didn't move, so re-rolling 1s in the to shoot. All right, so we got 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, getting 1 wound, but he makes the save. Charge distance, yeah, totally in.
Yeah.
All right, so now the Praetorian Guard are going to start us over here with 10 attacks here, hitting on 3s. All right, pretty good. Wounding on 3s. Getting 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds, so that kills all but 1. And now my sergeant will attack back heroically with his 2 attacks. 1 hit. 1 wound.
1 3 up.
1 3 up. Oh, he's good. All right, so that's the end of the turn here. Morale test with that scout. He gets to roll. He lost 4 of his brethren, so 4 plus 2 is 6, and he's good to go, showing the heart of a lion. So that is the end of the Necron's turn here on turn 5, and that's actually where we're going to call it right now, ladies and gentlemen, because yeah, I don't think there's much getting back from that one. But that was a brutal game. I think my opponent's dice kind of gave up on him a little bit at the beginning, but these Praetorians, man, I think if they had started their just march of destruction a little bit earlier, they could have just been tearing through my guys. I mean, at the end here, I've got, 3 Hellblasters left. I've got 4 Scouts left. I've got 3 Devastators over here. Like, you did a number. You killed a bunch of stuff, but I had units that stuck around, which was the big deal. Your reanimation protocols just weren't clicking, and but yeah, it's pretty brutal. And I think it was fun to see a bunch of those stratagems, like, oh man, that quantum, the quantum shielding one, the quantum dispersion where you got a 0 on his quantum roll because he rolled that 1. That was awesome. And then you've got the dispersion shield overcharge thing or whatever it's called with the Lich Guard, giving a 3-up invul save that then did mortal wounds. Killed 2 of my Devastators over here with that, which was pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I think the Necrons are gonna have a lot to go for them. So yeah, really cool stuff. Really fun to see them on the board, and it was a ton of fun. So yeah, so I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always, and until next time, have fun.